Hi all and welcome to this class where we will learn about Variant Manager. For this class I have created another level called Interior 06. And we are going to change the material of this sofa. Let's create a new folder called Variants to better organize it. Right click, go to Miscellaneous and create a level variant set. Rename it to something easy. Double click it to open Variant Manager. Click on this green button to add a variant set. Rename it so we can differentiate between two or more variants. Click this plus button to add a variant and rename it accordingly. Select the sofa and drag and drop it to the variant. These are all the parameters that we can change using the variants. Search for material and select all the slots. We have 4 slots because the sofa has 4 materials. We need to create one more variant with different materials. Select the variant and press Ctrl W to duplicate it. I have already created a material for the second variant. Let's go to Variant Manager and apply it to the second variant. Let's rename it to Maroon. Okay, so now we have two variants. This one has blue color and the other has maroon color. Let's check if the variants are working. And it's good. Let's create thumbnails so we know which variant is which. Now we just need to create a UI to change the material during gameplay. Rename the widget blueprint accordingly and open it. I have already taught you how to create a good looking widget, so I am going to go basic to save time. Add a button and name it color 1. Add a text on the button and change its name and content. Drag the button below. Select the first button and press Ctrl W to create a copy. Rename everything accordingly. Create another button to go back to the game after material swap. We only need event construct node here. Drag and search for get all actors of class. In the actor class, search and select level variant sets. What it does is it searches the scene for all the actors of the specified class. Drag and search for get a copy. Drag from it and click promote to variable. This will make the blueprint run faster. You can rename this variable if you want to. Drag and search for switch on variant by name. Disconnect this using Alt plus LMB. Let's bind the button color 1 to the first variant and button color 2 to the second variant. Create a copy of switch on variant by name. Connect the buttons to the two nodes. Now we need to specify the variant set name and the variant name. Our variant name is sofa color. Let's type it here. And our first variant is sofa color 1. Let's fill the second variant details. Remember all these nodes when you create a widget to swap materials or meshes. Let's connect button 2 to the second variant. I forgot to add the functionality for the back button. Drag and search for remove from parent. This will remove the widget from the screen. Drag and search for set input mode UI only. Get player controller and connect to the player controller node. As this back button will move the player back to the game, we don't need the cursor. We need to drag and drop the level variant set in the scene to make it work. Let's find a key to the sofa widget in the level blueprint. We already have the P button assigned to open main menu. Search for any key that you want to use. Drag and search for create widget and select the sofa color widget. Create get player controller and connect to owning player to control the widget. Drag and add to viewport to add the widget to the screen. Drag and create set input mode UI only. We need to control this widget, so we need it in focus. And we need the cursor to interact, so we mark it visible. Hit compile and save. Let's hit play and see how it looks. Press R to bring up the widget. Looks good. Now we will learn about swapping the meshes. We will use this chair for this. But something looks off with it. It's not blending with the rest of the scene. And that is because we have set it to movable right now. Reason being, static and stationary meshes don't work with mesh swapping. They have to be set to movable, and we know that movable meshes don't contribute to GI. Let's create a folder to bring in a new chair. We are going to use this beautiful chair that we got from the internet. Let's import the SPX file for this. We don't want the materials. Keep everything else to default. Here is our chair. Let's add some materials to it. There is no shadow because the lighting needs to be rebuilt right now. But as we are going to keep it to movable, so it doesn't matter. Let's move it to its place. Let's create a level variant set for chairs and name it. Click the green button to add variant set and rename it. Click the plus button to add first variant. Select both chairs and drag them to the variant. This time we will search for visibility as we want to swap the meshes. In the first variant we will hide one chair but not the second. Create a copy of the variant and name it accordingly. And in this variant just switch the visibilities of the chairs. Our variants are working correctly. Let's create a widget for swapping the chairs. I am going to duplicate the sofa color widget and rename it to save time. Rename the buttons and text accordingly. The nodes are all set up. We just need to change the variant names. Open level blueprint and bind a key to open the chair widget. Use any key that you want. I am using Q. Let's copy and paste these nodes and change the widget to WBP underscore chair mesh. Compile and save. Let's do something for the shadows now. To fake the shadows here, Unreal has a feature called Mesh Distance Field. Go to Project Settings and search for Generate Mesh Distance Fields and enable it. It will ask for a restart. Do it. Mesh distance fields are enabled now. Open the level and wait for Unreal to finish building mesh distance fields. This is mesh distance field for all the objects, and this will help us to fake the shadows. But we still do not see any shadow from the chair. We need to enable it in the static mesh parameters. Enable generate mesh distance field. Now go to the chair details and search for distance field indirect shadow and enable it. The shadow is here and we can increase or decrease its intensity using this parameter here. Let's enable it for the second chair as well. We have got the shadow, but the chair is not getting affected by the GI. Shadowing artifacts are also present. It's looking very unreal right now. To fix this, we have to go to Word settings and look for volumetric light map detail cell size. These spheres are volumetric light map lighting sample that were created by the Lightmass. These contain indirect lighting information which is used to properly light movable objects. To increase the accuracy of shading in movable objects, we need to increase the number of samples here. Change this to something like 40 or 50 and increase the memory to 50 or 60. We need to rebuild the light to see the change. As the build time increases after lowering the volumetric light map detail cell size, I will stop the video here and continue in part 2.